Hey everyone, let's talk about divination. And what is divination? So let's look it up. I love looking up words in the dictionary because I feel like words carry so much energy, and the way that we use the words and the meaning that we give those words give us so much insight into what energy it is carrying. So when we look up the word divination, there are so many different definitions that point towards access to a supernatural or a divine higher power. And a lot of these definitions also refer to fortune-telling wisdom, which I don't consider myself a fortune teller as a psychic or medium. I just consider myself a microphone or communicator with spirit. I resonate the most with the Britannica definition of divination, which is this. Divination, the practice of determining the hidden significance or cause of events, sometimes foretelling the future by various natural, psychological, and other techniques. I also want to point out that none of these definitions reference anything that has to do with the devil, Satan, evil, or anything that's going to give you nightmares. So let's be very clear about that divination has nothing to do with evil. And in that same energy, divination is a tool or technique. So it's neither good or bad. The good or bad comes from how is this tool being used and what is the intention or energy of the person that is using the tool going into using it. If you're scared going into this, do not play with it. Get right with yourself and your ideas and your energy when it comes to divination before actually engaging with divination practices. And if you need some help, I have some great videos on my psychic development playlist. All you have to do is join my mailing list and you get free access to the entire playlist. I do also recommend that you do your homework on any divination practice or technique so that you can show up with the practice in a comfortable and grounded intention and energy. Forms of divination practices that you are likely familiar with are cartomancy, which is reading oracle or tarot cards, reading tea leaves, or even geomancy, which is reading messages in the earth, crystals. There is also dowsing or scrying, which is more commonly known as pendulum work. There's also automatic writing, and this one you will know for sure, Ouija boards. Ouija boards are a divination practice. Yes, you're probably so confused right now because you're thinking like, I've never heard a good story about a Ouija board, but that's always because people use it to basically be, to mess around, to be mischievous. So think about that. The energy that goes into how you are using the practice is basically the result that you're going to yield. People often think of divination as a technique for future telling or fortune telling. And sure, you could do that, but a more practical use for divination is for day-to-day guidance to stay aligned with your values and beliefs. Also, you're not meant to have all the answers. So if you think that you're going to lean on divination to always know what's going to happen next, you're not going to get the answers. Trust me, I tried. Also, you're not meant to have all the answers. Where would the lesson in that be? An example is asking your cards for guidance if DJ or Corazon is into you, and should you ask them out? Another example is asking for guidance on how to communicate with family members that may have hurt or upset you. You can also ask your cards for guidance on how to structure a coaching program. Are you picking up what I'm putting down here? To get started with divination, form a relationship with the practice the way you would with a person. Introduce yourself, get to know the practice, ask it questions, familiarize yourself with it, be curious about the practice and its origins and its intentions, share your intentions, and make an offering, which could be symbolic, or it could be a literal offering of maybe flowers, a prayer, an intention. Do a ritual with it to bond. Like this post and follow chrisellecan.medium on Instagram, and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you enjoyed this content.